The Senate will come to order. Senators will be in their seats. The clerk will call the roll.
Alley, Baumgartner, Billinger, Lazy, Bowers, Clays, Corson, Dietrich, Dahl, Erickson, Fagg, Faust-Goudot, Francisco, Gossage, Haley, Holland, Holscher, Kirshen, Cluse, Longbine, Masterson, McGinn, Olson, O'Shea, Peck, Peterson, Petty, Pittman, Pyle, Reddy, Reichman, Schallenberger, Steffen, Straub, Sykes, Thompson, Tyson, Ware, Warren, Wilborn.
Senators and their guests, please rise and give prayerful attention to Sister Diana Steele, President of the University of St. Mary, and the guest of the Senator from Leavenworth, Senator Pittman.
Let us pray. Good and gracious God, we give you thanks this day for these generous men and women who serve the people of the great state of Kansas. Grant them wisdom in their deliberations, insight in problem solving, peace in the midst of tensions, and the ability to listen and honor your presence in each other. For their job is difficult. It is difficult to find common ground that serves the people of the great state of Kansas. Bless them with a deep sense of your love and presence in each other as they tackle the difficult issues of this day. And as we celebrate Education Week, we give thanks for all of those teachers who dedicate their lives to the noble task of educating our youth, our greatest treasure. For those teachers who unlock the mystery of reading, those who guide the youth in the wonder and the adventure of learning, may we honor them and reward them for the very important work they do. Grant us humility, O God, as we remember that we are all still students in the school of life. Grant us grateful hearts this day and always. Amen.
Please continue standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On a point of personal privilege, the chair recognizes the Senator from Sedgwick, Senator Ware.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Today, we have some distinguished guests with us. We have from Taiwan, and why don't you guys come up front? This is the Taiwanese delegation for economic and cultural exchange. They're out of the Denver office, and they've come to visit with us today. They are wonderful folks. Please, if you have a chance, introduce yourself and get to know them. Can the reader read this, or shall I read?
That is your choice, Senator.
Okay. A tribute that we had printed up. Whereas Taiwan is a densely populated island country that is 1/6 the size of Kansas, but has a population 8 times larger than that of Kansas. And whereas Taiwan's largest city, Taipei, has a population nearly equal to that of New York City, Taipei with start again. Right. With 4 major seaports, 2 international airports. Taiwan is a thriving modern polity, and whereas Taiwan's growth has been remarkable, from 1905 to the post-World War II era, Taiwan's population doubled from 3 to 6 million. By the 1960s, Taiwan became known worldwide as the economic miracle. And whereas during the 1980s, Taiwan's exports transitioned from industries like textiles and light manufacturing to knowledge-based high-tech industries such as semiconductors, electronics, telecommunications, and in particular, integrated circuits. And whereas by the mid-1980s, Taiwan had become one of the world's largest producers of computers, and whereas Taiwan now has a bigger presence in the international trade than Japan, and whereas Taiwan and Kansas have recently signed the latest letter of one letter of intent, the most current one, consisting of $576 million purchase of Kansas wheat by the Taiwanese Flour Mills Association over this past 2 years. And whereas this year's agreement, along with others during the past 5 years, brings us to a total of well over $2.5 billion. Now, therefore, the state of Kansas and the Taiwanese government look forward to expanding on this latest trade exchange to the betterment of the people of Taiwan as well as the people of Kansas. This past summer, I had the great pleasure of meeting Bill S. Wong, Director General of the Taipei Economic and Cultural Delegation, and his Deputy Director, Leanne Cao, at the CSG Conference aircraft tour in Wichita, where I was impressed with their keen engagement in every aspect of aircraft production. I mentioned during the bus ride to our next stop on the tour that I was going to the NCSL conference in Denver and learned that that's where their regional office is. So later in Denver, we were able to carve out an evening to have a relaxed dinner and get to know each other a bit better. I was charmed and impressed by their dedication to helping their native Taiwan. They are clearly honored to represent their home country in a foreign land. Today, I have the distinct honor to introduce to you, my Senate colleagues, to both General Director Wong, Deputy Director Cao, along with Ms. Su-Yi Wong, and a new addition to their delegation. Mr. Wong and Ms. Cao have shared a remarkable amount about their beloved Taiwan with me, while they are continuing to learn more about the US. I assure you that Taiwan is now firmly at the top of my bucket list for international travel. Their island nation boasts 13,000-foot mountain peaks on the east coast, excuse me, and sandy beaches on the west side. While their cities are quite densely populated, there are many areas with much thinner populations and beautiful rural areas. Being quite small, though, they must import much of their foodstuffs. That's where the Kansas wheat and beef deals that have been signed in recent years come in. The state of Kansas and the country of Taiwan are actively looking for more ways to create exchanges that are a win-win. Taiwan has earned the moniker Kingdom of Delicious Foods. There you can grab an exotic snack from a street cart or dine in one of their many Michelin-rated restaurants. Among their many museums, you can see artifacts from the Ming Dynasty, as well as a wide variety of art from our modern era. With the impressive expansion of Taiwan's economy, they exemplify the phrase, small but mighty. Please join me in giving the Taiwan Economic and Cultural Delegation a warm Kansas Senate welcome.
The chair recognizes.
On a point of personal privilege, the chair recognizes the senator from Leavenworth, Senator Pittman.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Ladies and gentlemen, I have the distinct honor today of recognizing a college in my district that turns 100 this year. This is the University of St. Mary. I'm going to talk a little bit about their history. But I've got to tell you, growing up in Leavenworth, it was always an institution. Everyone knows the University of St. Mary is there. But growing up, they were often a little bit secluded coming out of the sisters and the nun tradition. I don't know if that's why. But under the direction of the person, the woman, the sister, who gave the prayer today, this has become a phenomenal university locally. They've reached out into the community. They've increased and boosted all their sports teams. And I can't be happier to have them in our community. So I'm gonna ask them to stand up right now, and then I'm gonna read through a little bit of the tribute. We have Sister Dr. Diane Steele, the president. Sister Rosemary Collick, Professor Emeritus and Community Council Member for the Sisters of Charity Leavenworth. Alan Langford, Trustee. Dr. Tess Mayring, Trustee. Maya Plotz, President of the Student Government Association. And in the back, manning that big camera back there, that's Hayden Parks. He's the university photographer. Let's give him a round of applause right now. Oh, just these individuals. Now, I probably did initiate that a little early. Just let me read through this real quick, and then we'll have another round of applause. Be it hereby known to all that official recognition is extended to the University of St. Mary's 100th anniversary. The Kansas Senate and Senators Pittman and alumni, Molly Baumgardner, hereby formally congratulate the University of St. Mary in Leavenworth, Kansas on their 100th anniversary. The University of St. Mary traces its roots to the Sisters of Charity of Leavenworth, whose organization, with the help of Mother Xavier Ross, taught and cared for children in the area since the early days of the first city of Kansas, Leavenworth. It later opened an academy for girls on the current site, and in 1870, it transitioned into a larger boarding school. 100 years ago, in 1923, it became the St. Mary College, and it became a four-year institution in 1950, and it started offering a master's program in education and offering many more educational opportunities, men and women throughout the country and other countries. In 2003, the St. Mary College was renamed the University of St. Mary and currently serves 1,100 students and 200 Kansas faculty that continue their mission. We recognize the University of St. Mary as a significant economic engine for the state of Kansas, contributing $63.4 million in economic impact per year and $4.2 million in state and local tax revenue. We recognize that the members of the university live their mission in part by preparing Kansas to serve the people of this great state. So with that, let's offer another round of applause, please, and congratulate them on 100 years of this great university and 100 years to go.
Again, congratulations to the college and for you folks that are here today. We will now stand at ease while we transition with the Educators of the Year. Senate will come to order. We'll now have introduction of motions and Senate resolutions. The clerk will read.
Senate Resolution Number 1705 by Committee on Education, a resolution congratulating and commending the members of the 2023 Kansas Teacher of the Year team.
Excuse me, the chair recognizes the senator from Miami, Senator Baumgartner.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. Today, the Senate and the House Education Committee had the privilege of meeting the regional finalists for Teacher of the Year and the Kansas Teacher of the Year. So those 8 educators are here with us today. And just as a quick reminder, every year the Kansas Department of Education recognizes those individuals. They identify them, they recognize them, and then they use these individuals to tour throughout the state and share their experiences as far as excellence in teaching. So, I move emergency to declare, I don't need to do that yet, do I? We're going to start with introductions.
It will pass, yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick us off with one of our regional finalists. And if she will please stand, it's Kendall Norberg. Kendall is a 4th grade teacher at Broadmoor Elementary School in Lewisburg School District. And she actually has been teaching, for quite a few years. For 12 years. And one of the things that I really appreciated about Kendall's experiences that she shared with us is she went on to earn her master's degree in special education. And during that process, she got the training to become a Crisis Prevention Institute trainer. And so she is using all of that she gleaned from that training and is sharing that and helping train other educators within the building, but also use that to help the co-op that serves the school districts that are in Miami County. One of the things that she uses in particular with the students in her classroom is collaborative problem solving. And they use that not only when they're working on math problems, not only when they're working together in group projects, but when they're just trying to figure out how to get through the hurdles of life today. And so I am just really proud to introduce to you Kendall, because she is a shining star as far as our elementary educators. At this time, I yield to the senator from Lynn, Senator Tyson.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I appreciate it. And I would like to introduce Jamie Swindler to the body. Jamie is an excellent part of the community. She serves and teaches from 18 and 21-year-old special education in the Ottawa School District, USD 290. I've had the opportunity to tour the school district and be exposed to what they're doing there. It's very innovative and very important to help these students transition. She is actually serving as a transition specialist, and she helps these students transition from education to being successful, from school to the community and to productive employees. So I appreciate everything you're doing, helping maximize their independence, and you're just a great asset to the community and to the state of Kansas, Jamie. Congratulations.
The chair recognizes the senator from Lynn. Would you care to yield?
Yes, I will be proud to yield to the good senator from Reno County, Senator Stephan.
Thank you so much. It is my honor to introduce to you our Hutchinson and Reno County Teacher of the Year, Ms. Carly Torres. She came to us in Reno County from Gracias, Lempira, Honduras. And you don't see that looking at her, but she did. And what an honor it was to have her come to Reno County. She's taught at Wiley Elementary School, Hutchinson Unified School District 308 for the last 5 years. She's a 5th grade teacher, and it is our honor to celebrate her acknowledgement today. Thank you. Time for the applause. And with that, I yield to Senator Brenda Dietrich.
Thank you so much. It's my honor today to introduce you to Pamela Munoz. Pamela, would you stand up? Pamela is a kindergarten teacher at McCarter Elementary in Topeka Public School District, USD 501. She graduated from Emporia State University in 2009, and she earned a Bachelor of Science degree in elementary education, but she also has endorsements in English as a second language and early childhood. I read a couple of things about Pamela that I want to share with you that I think might apply to what we do here every day. Pamela says, "My hope for my students is to be a good citizen as they become adults. I want them to have an understanding that education is important, but being a good citizen is just as important. I want my students to learn early on how to interact with others, and being a good citizen, how that can help them in their future." Thank you for that, Pamela. Absolutely appreciate that. Did I tell you that she has been teaching for 17 years, and in all of those years, she's taught English as a second language, she's taught 5th grade, and my all-time favorite, kindergarten. Thank you, Pamela. We're so proud of you, and welcome, and congratulations for being a Regional Teacher of the Year. And I will yield to the senator from Sedgwick, Senator Kirshen.
Thank you, Senator, and welcome to all of you teachers that are on this fine day. And it's my pleasure to read the script for Mallory Keefe from Cheney Elementary School and the great things they've done there. Mallory is the head teacher of the 3-year-old preschool program at Cheney Elementary School in Cheney, Kansas. She received her Bachelor of Arts degree in elementary education from Wichita State in 2015 and her Master of Science in early childhood from Emporia State in 2020. Mallory was instrumental in starting the program in 2019 as she and other staff members worked to develop and make this into a most successful program. This preschool class has taught the children how to follow directions, attend to tasks, and collaborate with others. This was evident when the first class of preschoolers entered kindergarten. Cheney Elementary School is fortunate to have such a competent and dedicated professional working in their school, and I'm proud of her too. So thank you very much for all you do. And just one long ago, another gal from Cheney was the same situation with you in this competition. So, with that, I will yield to the senator from Miami. I yield to the senator from Miami, Molly Baumgartner.
I'm back again. And before I get started on the next individual, because I'm actually representing the senator from Lyon who's not here today, Kendall, you didn't get your applause because usually we applaud at the end, but you're going to stand up and you're going to get your applause. So please, Kendall Norberg. Everyone gets their moment to shine. So at this time, I would like you to meet Erica Huggard. Erica, could you stand up? Erica is a high school teacher. Not only that, she's a high school science teacher, and she teaches the most difficult science class, and that is anatomy and physiology. Why is it so difficult? Because you have to memorize everything. All the bones, all the muscles, all the everything, and then you have to understand the physiology part, which is how it all works. So I appreciate that. Can you tell I'm married to anatomy and physiology professor? Yeah. What I liked most about learning about what she does in the classroom is it's not just teaching about the bones and the vessels, but it's learning about the students, informing, and I think in her presentation to the Joint Committee, she used the term establishing relationships almost a dozen times, because that is what it's about in the classroom, knowing that individual child. But what she is also doing in the classroom, since she has high school kids, is she's working to identify what are their skills. What's their skill sets? Do they have dreams? Do they have dreams? What are those aspirations? And interestingly enough, she goes ahead and takes those high school kids on field trips because, quite frankly, working at Emporia High School, she has not one but two colleges there in her community, Emporia State University, as well as Flint Hills Tech College. She takes them for tours so that they can see the anatomy labs, they can see the cadaver labs, they can see all of what's going on a college campus, which, if you're a first-generation student, no one in your family has ever gone to college, it can be very intimidating, even though it's right there in your community. But she goes a step beyond that. She takes them to tour the hospitals. When they're there, they can see a full range of career opportunities in healthcare that could mean just a certificate, an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, all the way up to a doctorate degree. So she exposes them to all of those opportunities, including, like food service, physical therapy, things like that, so that kids get a sense of, what could I dream about? What are my possibilities? And I was so tickled because guess what she knows all about? The Kansas Promise Act. And she's telling her students about that. So those kids at Emporia that are tough enough to take the A&P class, they're getting more than just that academic education because they have someone that really is an advocate for them personally and helping them figure out professionally where they might be able to find themselves, grow and develop. So, such an honor to meet Erica, and I think if memory serves me right, were you a first-generation college student? So there we are with that homegrown experience. It is now, so we're gonna applaud Erica. And now I yield the floor to the senator from Johnson, Senator Olson.
Thank you. My teacher of the year is Jessica Grano. Jessica, please stand. She is an art teacher for the 6th to 8th grade at Woodland Springs Middle School in Olathe, Kansas. She's been a teacher for 15 years for the Spring Hill School District. Some of her activities are strategic planning, building leadership teams. She's the head cheerleader coach. I can only imagine all the lives you've changed over the last 15 years and touched in art class. I've got 2 daughters that are art students, and it's people like you that have made a difference in their lives. So I want to thank you for all you do for the people of Spring Hill School District and the young kids, helping them with their art program and teaching them cheerleading and other things you do. So it's an honor to have you as Teacher of the Year. So thank you, Jessica. And I'll yield to the senator from Sedgwick, Senator McGinn.
Thank you, Senator. Well, Brian, would you please stand? Brian got the car for a year, but he's going to have to do some work with that and travel across the state, and I know he'll live up to his responsibility. Brian Skinner is an interrelated special education teacher for grades 9 through 12 at Newton USD 373. Employed by the Harvey County Special Education Cooperative in Newton. And he's been teaching since August 13 and currently serves as the Newton High School Special Education Department Chair. Just like to share a few things that I read about Brian. And one of the things has to do with how do you improve the culture in your school community. And one of the things that Brian's most fond of is the fact that he had the opportunity to create and lead the Newton High School's Freshman Success Student Learning Team. And it's comprised of teachers and counselors, administrators,
to assist students that are going into high school so that they'll be successful. As educators, they believe that it's not only to teach content, but also ensure that they appropriately prepare students for jobs, ensuring that they have interpersonal skills to be successful. And then on the student side, so it's a team effort, includes students, and the students led the startup of Reality 101. I think we should have a class called Reality 101 once in a while. And this teaches the skills necessary for students to be successful and start planning individualized transition. In the course of the year, the impact has already been clear as there's been projects such as Reality 101 Cafe, where students interacted with community members through casual conversations, developing those interpersonal skills. And all their grades went up as well. I think it's important, what I really liked about this part is that we engage the parents as well. And the parent side, their goals are to help ensure families are more connected with the Railer family and have information to support their kids at home. To this end, they helped with planning the 2021 Back to School Railer Palooza, event. And part of that was parent education classes in both English and Spanish. And this taught some of the technical sides of the study system. One other little thing I'd like to just close with is that Brian talked just a little bit about some of the major public education challenges that we have. While we're blessed with more technology, more information at the palm of our hand, learning, we need to make sure that the student has a balanced life. And so even though technology provides extreme benefit to the classrooms, they also have addictive qualities. So classroom digital citizenship is important, but it does not eliminate the needs for the students' needs who are experiencing and/or aware of social and emotional stress. And that caught my attention because that is like hot off the press today's issue. So I appreciate you sharing that. At this time, I'd like for everyone to join me in congratulating the 2023 Teacher of the Year, Brian Skinner. At this time, Mr. Vice President, I'd like to yield back to the Senator from Miami, Senator Baumgardner.
Thank you so much. And I know it's been a little bit lengthy session, but it's worth every minute of it. One of the things that was shared with us today when we had our joint committee meeting is a fact that we already know. Teachers change lives. Teachers change lives. And how wonderful for us in the state of Kansas and for the Kansas Senate to be able to see our 8 stars, our best of the best in the state of Kansas. So, Mr. Vice President, I move an emergency be declared, the rules suspended, and Senate Resolution 1705 be adopted for voice vote.
You have heard the motion. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. The motion carries. Introduction of bills and concurrent resolutions, the clerk will read.
Senate Bill number 99 by Committee on Federal and State Affairs, an act establishing the Advisory Commission on Asian American Pacific Islander Affairs. Senate Bill number 100 by Committee on Federal and State Affairs, an act concerning real property. Senate Bill number 101 by Committee on Assessment and Taxation, an act concerning sales taxation. Senate Bill number 102 by Committee on Education, an act concerning post-secondary education.
This constitutes the introduction of Senate Bill 99 through Senate Bill 102. Please note reference of bills on pages 1 and through 3 of the calendar. Please see the January 25th Journal for the communications from the following state agency: Kansas Department of Wildlife and Parks. And now for the reports of the standing committees, the clerk will read.
Mr. President, your Committee on Judiciary begs leave to submit the following report. The following appointment was referred to and considered by the committee, and your committee recommends that the Senate approve and consent to such appointment. By the Governor, Member State Board of Indigenous Defense Services, Alexandra Nikki Rose, to fill a term expiring January 15th, 2025.
Are there announcements? The chair recognizes the senator from Sedgwick, Senator Pascadoe.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I just want to acknowledge today is Senator Chase Blasey's birthday. Happy birthday to him. And also, we're going to do a round of applause for Senator Blasey. And then also, Mr. Vice President, happy birthday to Helena Buckman. Stand up. She is the communications director for Senator Dinah Sykes. Yesterday was her birthday. And Senator Blasey, we won't sing to you like we sang last night, but best wishes to you, or because I can't sing, so otherwise I would. Happy birthday to you.
Are there other announcements? Senator Baumgartner, the senator from Miami, does have an announcement, but I'm going to give her just a little time to finish up her photographs here. We'll just stand at ease just briefly here. The Senate chamber will come to order. The chair recognizes the senator from Miami, Senator Baumgartner.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I apologize for the delay. A reminder for Senate Education, we are not meeting tomorrow. We will be meeting on Monday, but we are not meeting tomorrow. My other announcement, Mr. Vice President, any of you that are interested in learning more about the Shawnee Indian Mission and the efforts to preserve it, it is a national landmark, but that group is down in the auditorium today. So if you would like to learn more, get a packet of information, please do. Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
The chair recognizes the senator from Sedgwick, Senator McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I just want to remind everybody, we'll try to send out one more notice, but the Rail Caucus, I know the last time I said this, somebody said, did you say rural? No, Rail Caucus is Monday at noon. If you want a lunch, you have to call my office by noon on Friday. And we have Amtrak showing up. We have the FRA. In fact, the head administrator for the Federal Railroad Administration will be the one that's on Zoom. So we're going to go straight to the top there, and a lot of updates about the Amtrak and where we're at. in that whole process. So please, if you can get on Zoom if you don't have time to go, but please, if you want a lunch, please call my office. Thank you.
Are there any other announcements? Seeing none, the chair recognizes the senator from Cali, Senator Alley.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. The Republican caucus will caucus in room 548 South on Thursday after adjournment to elect the Republican whip. And another announcement, if you're going to be absent, please notify the Majority Leader's office or the Minority Leader's office as far in advance as we can. We appreciate that. Mr. Vice President, I move the Senate adjourn until 2:30 p.m. on Thursday, January 26, 2023.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Are you carrying that bill?
Those opposed, no. The motion carries. The Senate is adjourned.
Yes.
Why